Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to the online teaching academy Ekalaiva. So far, we have been discussing about Nazism and the rise of Hitler. In the previous session, you have learned about what happened in schools under Nazism. And also you have learned about the role played by youth and women in the Nazi Germany. And today, you are going to learn a new topic, that is the art of propaganda and the knowledge about the Holocaust. So first of all, we are going to see about the art of propaganda. Okay, so here the Nazi regime used the language and media with lot more care and with great effect. Okay, so the Nazi used the language in a proper way. As we know very well, the Nazi people killed so many millions of Jews and Gypsies and Polish people, isn't it? But the Nazi used the different words for the different processes. So let's see what are all the different words they used for killing the people. Okay, so is mass killing was called as special treatment. So listen, your children, mass killing was called as special treatment, and killing of Jews was called as final solution, and killing of disabled was called as euthanasia, and the gas chambers were called as disinfected areas. So the gas chambers were named as disinfected areas. So in the Nazi language, they never used the word murder or killing. So they use a different word for killing the different segment of people. Okay. And now, so we are moving on to see the art of propaganda. So what is this propaganda? It is nothing but a form of communication. It is a type of communication. Okay. So to communicate with the people, the Nazi used the media carefully. Okay, so media was carefully used to win the support for the Nazi regime and also popularize its worldview among the people. For that, for familiarizing their views among the people, they use the films and posters, radios, catchy slogans, leaflets to address the people. So, to familiarize their ideology among the people, they use they used films, radios, catchy slogans, leaflets, and lot more. And also, they held lot of meetings in public. And Nazi made a film called The Eternal Jews, in which they stereotype about the Jews as rats, vermin, and pigs. Okay, so through these pictures, the Nazi want to tell the people to start treating the Jews as a bad way. Okay, so through this picture, the eternal Jews, through this picture, they just educate the people to hate Jews and also to treat the Jews in a bad way. And also, the houses of the Jews were marked as suspicious neighbors. So, the houses of Jews were marked and the houses were reported to the nearby police. Okay, nearby police station. Okay, and now we are moving on to see the topic, that is ordinary people and crimes against humanity. So in this topic, we are going to learn how did the common people react to Nazism. Okay. So as we know, many people were supported to the Nazism ideology, to Nazi ideology, but still, not all the people were the Nazi people. Okay, so many people believed the Nazi ideology blindly. Okay, even the mindset of the people was also changed a lot. People, those who believed in the Nazi ideology, they started to look at the world with the mind of the Nazi. Okay, they look at the world with with the mind of the Nazi only. Okay, and they were also uh, those who are suspected as a Jews. They marked the house of the Jews and they were reported to the nearby police. Okay, so the people who believed in the Nazism, who believed the Nazi ideology, they believed it very blindly. Okay, they even spoke their mind with the Nazi language. Okay, so in this process, the Charlotte Barat, she secretly wrote about the plight of Jews in her book called Third Reich of Dreams. Okay, Charlotte Barat, she wrote about a book. She wrote a book about the Jews, and it is called as Third Reich of Dreams, in which she described about how Jews themselves began believing in the Nazi stereotypes about them. Okay, as we know, the Nazi people stereotype about the Jews in a different way as the evils. Okay, so in this book, she described about how Jews themselves began believing in the Nazi stereotypes about them, and they dreamed of their hooked nose, black hairs and eyes, and Jews' look and body movements. So, even in the dreams also, Nazi people tortured the Jews. Okay. So after we know the Germany got defeated at the end of the Second World War, isn't it? So after the end of the Second World War, Germany got defeated. So after the Germany got defeated from the war, the Jews wanted the world to know about what had happened in the Nazi Germany, and they wanted the world to know about the harsh attitude done by Germans to them, and also the all the discriminations done by the Germans to the Jews was called as Holocaust. Okay, we know very well, we learned already that Jews remain the worst sufferers in the Nazi Germany, and the Jews were eliminated at last. They sent to the concentration camps or the gas chambers. They eliminated in such a way. Okay, they were terrorized, and finally they were sent to the concentration camps. So the Jewish community were totally eliminated. Okay, so the discrimination done by the Germans to the Jews was called as Holocaust. Okay, so as we know that after the World War end, the Germany defeated, the Jewish people wanted the world to remember the atrocities and the sufferings they had during the Nazi killing operation. The Nazi killing operation is called as Holocaust. Okay, so the Jewish people wanted the world to remember the atrocities did by Germans to the Jews and the sufferings which they had during the Nazi killing operation. Okay, so the Nazi killing operation was called as Holocaust. Okay, so at its peak, at its extreme situation, a ghetto inhabitant had said to the another person that he want to outlaw the war just for a half an hour. Why a ghetto inhabitant wanted to outlaw the war just for half an hour? Because he wanted to tell the world about what had happened in the Nazi Germany. Okay, a ghetto inhabitant had wanted to tell the world about what had happened in the Nazi Germany. Okay, so that the many Jews who had written the diaries and kept notebooks and created archives that bore the evidence, that bring the witness of the Nazi killing operations. Okay, so many Jews had written the diaries and kept notebooks and they created archives. On the other hand, when the war was lost by the Germans, the Nazi leaders they distributed the patrols to the officers and they wanted to burn the evidence which are available in their offices. So once the war was lost by the Germans, the Nazi leaders distributed the petrol to the officers and ordered them to burn all the evidences which are available in their offices. But still, even though they burned some of the evidences, it the history and the memory of the Holocaust lived on the memories and fictions and documentaries, poetries and museums in many parts of the world. Okay. So even though they have burnt all the evidences, some of the evidences, still it will be in the a form of the memories and fictions and documentaries and poetries and even some museums we can able to get the evidences. Still the evidences are available in many parts of the world. Okay. And here you can see the milk can which was burnt during the Nazi killing operation called Holocaust. So inside this milk can, a ghetto inhabitant kept the diaries. And as we know, the after the war lost by the Germans, the Nazi leaders distributed the petrol and asked them to burn the evidences, isn't it? So in that Nazi killing operation, this milk can and along with the other cans were burnt. It was burnt only, but it was rediscovered. That is, it was discovered by the year 1950s. Okay, so inside this milk can, the ghetto inhabitant kept the evidences. Okay, but it was discovered in the year 1950. And now note down the assignment, children. Had media played any role in the propaganda of Nazi regime? Second one, how was Holocaust practiced in Germany? And of course, we came to the end of the lesson, children, and we have completed this lesson successfully. Thank you, children.